black, be black, baby. Let me be black, be black, baby. Let me be black. Join the crowd.
Lights, camera, action, it's on. New black film revolution born. Movers, shakers, big and little filmmakers. Let's make a movie today, see where it take us. Halle Berry, Denzel, and Jamie. Terrence Howard, Mike D, and Spike Lee. Brand new filmmaker born every day. Put a camera in his hand and let him lead the way. Let me get an Oscar, let me get an Emmy. Real Black woke up the filmmaker Emmy. Whether digital, 8mm, 35. Let's make the movies that can open their eyes. Let's tell the stories that need to be told. Make them laugh, make them cry, for the young, for the old. Come on, let's shake it, make it and make movies. Real Black, I really like the way you do me.
Hey everybody, it's Mike, and you're watching Real Black Live. Welcome to Real Black Live with Mike D and
Charles Woods.
this is gonna be a quick one because Charles informs me the game is on tonight.
Yeah, that's our competition tonight.
Yeah, well, we got 72 so far, including Fargo, North Dakota in the building. We can do
Are they going to be the Lakers or the Fakers?
Okay, well, I thought, and is tonight also the Sixers Knicks, or is that tomorrow?
Well, I'm surprised. You know, your Sixers are playing the Knicks right now, Mike.
Okay, oh, so that's not your game, even though you live in New York. You don't care about the Knicks?
Well, I'd be watching, but my main team is the Lakers. But what happened is the Sixers had a scare. You know, Embiid just came back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been laboring, with all that weight he's carrying on his leg. And he just went for a stuff, and he came down wrong on his leg. And He had to go to walk very gingerly to the locker room. But he came out for he did eventually come back. The Knicks are tough this year. Jalen Brunson has been fantastic. And their big man, their second big man, Julius Randle, he's out. So a lot of the weight for scoring is on Brunson, and he hasn't really done well so far. But he's tricky. He's another scary left-hander. But enough of that.
Okay. Yeah. The Knicks are already pulling back. So
my man, Chris Dragnet, I just want to say, bless you, my brother. We appreciate all your support, physically and monetarily. You're one for the net, and you're no drag.
Now I meant to text Voyeur. Hang on, let me see if he's around.
And I see Voyeur had he watched that the last thing we did on a later date, but I always salute him, and he's another one of our great ones. And who I told you there's someone, I like to live by my word, and I haven't forgotten all the wonderful support we've gotten from Elle Brown. And I told you, in fact, I want her to contact you, and I want to send that gift out to her.
Okay. Well,
there's my love. There's my love.
Yeah. So I'll send me a DM on Instagram or something, so we have your info. Okay. So, I mean, we're on limited time tonight. At least you are. So I don't want to waste too much of it with pleasantries. Welcome everybody to Real Black Live. It's Saturday as we speak, April 20th, 420. And maybe I'll pull up some stuff for that after you step away. But ironically, 420, and the election's heating up. I know you've got your thoughts and feelings about this situation.
Well, what's scary is this. What would knock the challenger out historically, what would be the strength of the incumbent president would be the economy.
Okay.
Also, when you have someone with, let's say, a very scoundrel, I use the word scoundrel, a scurrilous record like Trump, years ago, there was a standard. And this guy, you can't believe that he would be. People would even consider him as the standard bearer for a party. He would have been knocked out a long time ago for a number of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And what saddens me, I just caught on today, another one of the brothers, Stephen A. Smith, he's become another person who's been used by Fox to clip what people say and use it to support this idea that blacks are not for Biden.
Okay. Well, they pulled a Charlemagne on him.
Well, you know that I told you that I'm upset with the Breakfast Club. How Charlemagne and these guys, they didn't challenge Nikki Haley. Then they had the audacity to let what's her name get on with her nonsense. Candace Owens
gave her an hour. Yeah.
And now Stephen A. Smith, he gets on and he's on Sean Hannity's show, and Hannity doesn't say anything truthful when it comes to what the Democrats are doing, what Biden's doing, and he will never say anything against Trump. And these people, you know, as I mentioned before, I'm surprised they allow this lady on Fox. She's a Jewish lady. She's been eating them alive. I believe her name is Tarloff, Jessica Tarloff. I believe that's her name. But she eats them up alive. And maybe they had to bring her in with all that money Fox lost because they got caught in a lie. And what I just wanted to emphasize is, hey, don't think your vote doesn't count. But your vote, it should go for someone who's going to be more for you than not. And as we discussed last week, your vote has to be transactional. You have to form a coalition of like-minded people, and then you have to get behind the people you vote for and make sure that they do what you expect them to do, because that's why they got your vote. And let's not forget, there's a reason why blacks and a lot of people who, you know, there's no Republican in the last, 3 or 4 elections who've won the majority vote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's a reason for that, because these guys don't have a platform. But what I was going to say, people forget black folk used to be Republicans. And the reason why they were Republicans, the Republican Party was called the Party of Lincoln. And everyone felt that Lincoln was for blacks, and he did so much. And the Republicans, we had some Republicans who were fierce. One of the Republicans they hated was Thaddeus Stevens. But people got to read history. You got to study history. But the reason why we went to the Democratic Party is because that Democratic Party turned different once they got rid of all these Southern Democrats and all these guys. It was more for the little man. And right. Biden in office, if they use these metrics, Trump always he overemphasizes what he's done. He lies every time he opens his mouth, damn near. But I did this. I was the greatest president for blacks. Did more than Lincoln did. You know what I mean? Forget everything that happened after Kennedy died and the things that were put through LBJ. Study your history. That's all I have to say.
Right. So, I mean, there are going to be people that are watching that don't side, that say Charles Woods has drank the Kool-Aid, that, there's no difference between parties, or even like we have one viewer who's kind of vocal here saying that Biden's bringing in illegals and Trump is going to be better for the economy. Let him come back in. I want my America back, so to speak. What do you have to say about that, just in rebuttal?
Well, here's the thing. You can be well informed or ill informed. Where are you getting your information? Okay. If immigration is such a big problem, how come Trump gave orders not to go for the plan that was a bipartisan plan drafted by a Republican to do something about the border? The reason why Trump killed it is because Trump does not want anything to help the situation or the situations that the Republicans want to use for purposes of fear mongering. They have no platform. All they can do is scare people. Immigration. Remember, when Trump was running before, they talked about the caravans and how the caravans of immigrants were going to destroy America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That didn't happen. When Obama was in office and he wanted to put in Medicare, the Affordable Care Act, what was the fear mongering then? Something called the death squads, and how the Affordable Care Act was going to ruin anyone who used it. It was going to be more costly what they have. Listen to what the Republicans want to do with Social Security. For the longest time, they wanted to privatize it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is this, and I know my love, L. Brown said, well, I read your comments. As you were saying, where people say one wing, one is just one wing of the same chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And L. Brown said, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to paraphrase, but we have an old donkey versus an old mule, words to that effect.
Mm.
But the whole thing is, let's see what Biden wants to do, and let's see if the Republicans are for it. Now, when Biden brings up doing something about student loans, Republicans right away, they want to say, oh, once again, here's another giveaway. I had to pay my student loans.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they create division. That's how power is arrived at. You create divisions. The Republicans do not talk about policy. When Trump was president, did he not try to get rid of the Affordable Care Act? And they never even mentioned what plan they had to replace it. The only thing that saved it was McCain standing up and saying, thumbs down. My brother right now, he's in North Carolina. A lot of those people were against the Affordable Care Act. They love it. The nation, a lot more people love it.
Okay. Well, I mean that's fair. I mean, but I mean this is the essence of the criticism that comes when anyone I speak to wholesale gives their vote to the Democratic Party. What do Black people get in exchange? Specifically Black people, not Affordable Care Act that helps everybody, but was deemed as something, the way welfare systems are set up. The face of welfare is always Black, but in fact, it helps everybody. What do you, from your standpoint, what is Biden doing or the Democrats doing to help Black people, Black Americans specifically? And, should we hold our vote hostage until they speak out and say, hey, we're going to do this for you the next 4 years?
You know what kills me? They asked that question about the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Same question goes for the Republicans.
Okay.
What specifically is Trump going to do for Blacks?
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to lie and say he did something for the veterans when he took credit for something that Obama wanted? We got Black veterans. Trump brags about the fact that he got rid of Roe versus Wade. We got a lot of black women who need to be able to say, I have to do what's best for me, health-wise, okay? I'm not talking about being pro-abortion, pro-life, or pro-abortion, but I think a woman should have that choice. I think we have a lot of black people who are women, okay? Social Security. I'm on Social Security. I'd hate to lose that. If I'm not mistaken, I think there are more Democrats, especially some, what's his name, is not a Democrat. He's an independent. But the thing is, they want the minimum wage raised. Who rails against that more than the Republicans? Do you think the minimum wage raised would help a lot of blacks specifically? Do you think anyone who gets to become president, that they become president of black people? There's a saying they use, a rising tide lifts all boats. Do you know why Trump is so popular? Is because the people who love him know that Trump is more for a certain group of people than he is for black people. Okay?
Right.
And anything that will hurt black people makes these Trump acolytes feel good. Because when you listen to these, I'm going to use the word, to these yahoos, when you ask them to be specific, they can't tell you. Okay? But the whole thing is this. When they talk about the replacement theory, when they're against CRT, critical race theory, when they want to tell you what you can read and can't read, you ask those same yahoos why you want to ban certain books, but you call yourself an evangelist, you call yourself a religious person who believes in God. Well, if you want to start banning books, why don't you start with the Bible? And I know a lot of people won't like me for saying that, but let's really see how many people really read the Bible and how much in the Bible is something that needs to be monitored and looked at for what it contains. But see, people don't get deep. See, what happens is, here's something to look into. Trump and the Heritage Foundation, they're promoting a thing called Project 2025. Why is Trump seeking to be declared capable of having immunity? And when you read between the lines what he's saying, authoritarian government, people who want to be autocrats, they talk tough. And when they talk tough, they say certain things. When you listen to when Trump was in office and before he ran for office, the Republicans always want to talk about law and order and crime. And whenever they talk about law and order and crime, that's another coded way they want to say they're going to do something about blacks who are not about law and order and who are criminals. When they look at what happened on January 6th at the Capitol, McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, Mitch McConnell, the minority leader of the Senate, they all said Trump was wrong. Look what they're saying now. Bill Barr said Trump was wrong about he actually won the election. But who is Barr for now? It's all about
Trump.
He's for Trump.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley, she says Trump would be safer than Biden. That's why Nikki Haley, the same person whose family was treated, who suffered discrimination and racism, when she says it doesn't exist in America, she's a big liar. She's a big liar. The Republicans, all they do is peddle lies. And if you want to be specific and you want to get into detail, study the facts. Don't just go to one source. If you watch MSNBC, CNN, challenge that. But I'll tell you, if you're watching Fox, well, I know we had this discussion before. And Fox had that name before Murdoch took over, right? But the thing is, he kept it. And I know one thing. Fox, when they used to talk about the chickens always fed Fox.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, all right, you've set the table, Charles. People think that you're spewing Democratic talking points, but when we talked on the phone, you said it doesn't look that good for Biden this year, 2024. Not looking good for Biden.
Well, let me just say, right. Let me answer that question.
Are you answering this specific question?
I'm spewing what? Democratic talking points. Okay? Pinnacle power.
Oh, he's frozen for a second. Hopefully he'll come back. There you go. You're back.
Okay. No, I didn't freeze.
You did. You did.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is, here's this. Let's examine what Pinnacle Power just said. I'm spewing Democratic talking points. Is getting relief on your student loan, is that a Democratic talking point? Or is that something that would help a lot of people? Independent, Democratic, and Republican. If I'm saying find a way to secure Social Security, is that a Democratic talking point? Is that Social Security, does that help a lot of people? Huh?
Right.
If I'm talking about raising the minimum wage, why can't that be a Republican talking point? Why are they against it? I'll tell you why they're against it. Because they always want to use this argument about the Democratic plantation and how the Democrats always want to be about promoting irresponsibility, where they don't want to have people pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Go into the history and find out what creates generational wealth. Why is it a problem? Is this a Democratic talking point? And here's getting something back to helping Blacks specifically. You tell me why certain states, after they changed the voting rights, they made changes to that, okay? How they want to change where Blacks could go vote. They closed down a lot of voting spots. Blacks wait online longer to vote than other people. Then they didn't want, they want to do something where you can't even bring water or something to eat to somebody who's been standing online for 4 and 5 hours or more. And the reason why they want them standing online that long, because they want people to get frustrated and leave. And here's my last point, and then I'll go into what I want to discuss tonight. If voting one way or the other, and this gets back to Blacks, because they get caught up, a lot of Blacks get caught up in conspiracy stuff, and I'm going to throw something now tonight. Then why are they making it so tough for Blacks to vote? Why do they want to make it so tough? That with the voter ID, what's that all about? Mm-hmm. They talk about voter ID. That throughout the history of voting, and this last vote for the presidency, when Trump lost, a Republican was in charge and said it was the safest election that we've had. Because when Trump won, that was something that had a lot of tricks and shady stuff in it. And isn't it interesting? Because I like words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the radical part of the Republican Party that fought Putin? Who was responsible for Trump getting in the office? Remember when Trump said, Russia, if you have these votes, this information on Hillary, please release it? First of all, that was against the rules of running for presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, look at Putin's name, because this I'm going to follow it up with this. Look at Putin's name. How you spell it? Huh?
Putin.
Okay. Just give me some space between the first three letters and the last two. What you got?
Put in.
That's what Trump was. He was put in by Putin, right? And why do you think Trump wears red ties?
Red ties?
Because he has red ties. And let me tell you something. Putin's got some stuff on Trump, some video. These people love conspiracy theories. They love a whole bunch of stuff. But Trump went to Russia and they filmed that bad boy, because you know what the thing with Trump is? They know he can't stay away from the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Well, all that'll come back up as we get closer to the election. So, just to finish the point, a lot of people that are foundational Black Americans that watch our channel because of you, because of Baba Dick, their biggest concern is reparations. Would either candidate provide reparations for foundational Black Americans, in your opinion? And is that what's swaying your vote? Or, is it something specific and proactive that Biden is offering that's swaying your vote? Or are you still undecided? I mean, you're definitely saying that, Trump is not your person to vote for, but what is it about Biden that's attractive?
Well, I'll ask you this.
Sure.
Who's the vice president?
Kamala Harris.
What do they say about Trump? I mean, Biden. He's too old.
Yeah.
If something happens to Biden in office, and let's say he wins again, who becomes president?
Harris.
Harris, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many of those Republicans you think would love that? Because the reason why we got Trump is because there was a backlash against the fact that we had the 44th president was a Black man. That replacement thing, that theory. See, here's what I didn't finish my point.
Okay.
What would have knocked out a person like Trump years ago? Those things don't exist anymore, because this country is so divided on race that the things that made Trump look good, that he wanted to spout out how the economy was this, the economy is that, those metrics, that people who love Trump don't even want to use those same metrics. Okay? The economy. There used to be the economy stupid, right? Are you better off 4 years today than you were 4 years ago? Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. People forget, they have amnesia. As Which Way Was Up would say, there's an attack of lunacy going on here. COVID was no joke, but the person who was the president, when it came down to doing something about COVID, he was a big joke. And if you look at those meetings he had with Fauci and the doctor with the scarf around her neck, and Pence was supposed to be in charge.
Right.
We had, you know how many people died in America from COVID?
Mm-hmm.
Over 1 million. Over 1 million.
Right.
compare that with other places. And people want to bring in the population and all that. Just look at the measures other countries took that Mr. Trump refused to take because he didn't want to hurt the economy. Right? Then, once again, they start putting up this fear mongering and all this kind of stuff. Usually people like to err on the side of caution, but the whole thing is they made it where, okay, they played on this fear of the vaccinations, people anti-vax. But that had nothing to do with, or at least you don't want to talk about the importance of wearing a mask. I know when you go to the hospital and you're going to be around people who are highly contagious and have different, they have to be concerned about if someone's coming in and got germs, you're wearing a mask. They made that like, who needs a mask? It's just crazy. But
so logic is basically your selling point.
Well, the whole thing, there is no logic when you are defying logic by not accepting facts. Emotions over facts. You want to believe what you want to believe. That's called cognitive dissonance. It's called selection bias, where you're going to select what you want to hear and disregard that which goes against what you want to believe. Okay? That's right. Psychology 101, brother.
Yeah. So, we're not, if you've already decided who you're going to vote for, if you're going to not vote or whatever, then, it's irrelevant. Everybody's sort of angling for the small percentage of undecideds that can move the needle.
Here's the thing. This reminds me. Remember when Kennedy ran? He ran against Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a lot of people. They were going to vote based on who looked the best. Okay.
Right.
Stuff like that. Remember when they went after Colin Powell? Said Colin Powell was going to vote for Obama. He was going to vote for Obama because he's black. Well, a lot of people vote for a candidate based on race. I don't care. I'm voting for the white guy. I'm not voting for the black guy. If you're voting for something as superficial and nonsensical as that, then you're not being very civic minded and you're not being smart.
Well, we can always go back and watch Tricknology of Trump. And see your feelings about Trump being a charlatan, a cult of personality person. Both candidates will be running on their records, and the fact that they're both, older now, 4 years older than when they ran before against one another. So this is a conversation we'll have to continue. But to your point, regardless of who you're going to vote for this fall, it's not looking good for Biden. Is that where we're at?
Well, yeah, it's what I call. I like to look at words. I study film. I study words. I look into different things that have a big impact on people's lives. And the tragedy in today's world is that we're becoming a dumber and dumber society. And what's happening also is we're becoming a society that is more tribalistic, and people are caught in these silos where they want to believe what they want to believe. They don't want to examine anything. And from the very founding of this country, a lot of people don't know the true history of how this country was founded. But I do remember one of the big phrases was, we do not want taxation without representation.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of people who said when they wanted to divorce themselves from the oppression of the British, They wanted their freedoms. Now, there are many Americans who can't even pass what they call the test to become a citizen, because people take their freedom for granted. And there's a saying goes that freedom ain't free. You constantly have to fight for freedom. And in order to really secure the kind of freedom you want, you have to be civic minded. You have to be well educated and really invest yourself in knowing what's going on. And a lot of people get caught up in the nonsense. So sometimes I just like to know what's going on. And my diversion is to look at different things, because when I used to do the things with the kids in school, kids are fascinating, because, the kids, what makes them better than a lot of adults is because a lot of them are young and they haven't been consumed with the prejudices that happens as you get older and older. You're inculcated with a bunch of nonsense. But kids are young, they're eager to learn. And little things I used to do to get, like, I'll ask you a question, and this is for you, the family. It may be something people don't even do anymore, but mathematics. Voya 44, my brother. Mike, what is a prime number?
What is a prime number? It's a number that can only be divided into itself to get, or be divided into itself to get one. Like a prime number is like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Those are prime numbers. They can only be divided into themselves. Did I get that right?
No, you got it wrong.
Okay. What's a prime number?
Because first of all, you said 1 is a prime number. 1 is not a prime number.
I didn't say 1.
You said 1, 7.
No, I said 3, 5.
Is 1 a prime number?
Oh, well, one would be 1. All right, okay. Not 9. Oh, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay.
Did you say 1 now? Yes or no?
I said 9. That's not a prime number. 3 times 3 is
I'm
9.
asking you, did you say 1?
All right, let's say I did say 1. What about it?
Okay. And I'm saying 1 is not a prime number.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, anyway.
And you said it can only be divided into itself. Right?
Right. So, all right. What's the correct answer, sir?
Okay. You see, you just showed me what I'm talking about. When you just showed me what I'm talking about. You just demonstrated what I'm talking about.
Oh, my cognitive dissonance?
It upset you a little that the definition you gave, I'm finding fault with it. And you get a little, did you get a little agitated, a little aggravated?
Well, I'm also reading the chat.
Okay.
So you're not the only person who's saying that I'm not correct.
Well, in this day of instant knowledge, you can look up what a prime number is. A prime number is a number that is only divisible by 2 numbers.
Okay. Itself and 1.
Exactly.
Okay.
Say it again.
A whole number greater than 1 that cannot be exactly divided by any whole number other than itself. And 1.
And 1. Thank you, Brother Voyeur. Now watch this. Can you see that?
Hang on. Let me get.
You see the word prime? Mike?
Yeah, you can't hear me. Just go ahead. Go for it.
You see the word prime? Yes, can you hear me, Mike?
I can hear you, but when I take the screen away, you can't hear me. So just go with the lesson.
Okay. Let me just do this. Here's the word prime. I'm going to do something to it, okay? I just eliminated the P, the R, and the E. No, the first two letters, the P and the R,
P and R.
I eliminated. What's left is the I and the me. The I and the me.
Okay.
I looks like what number?
1.
1. There's your 1. Now me. Me is myself. Me, myself, and I.
Right.
That's what a prime number is. It's divisible by 1 and me. Myself.
Okay.
That, what I've just done is just to show you, when I had to teach what a prime number was, I came up with this mnemonic. A mnemonic is a memory device.
Okay.
And I said, well, in fact, I just pulled that on a psychiatrist. He said, oh, man, I like that. That's fascinating. So what I'm saying is this. When you get to go to learn something, we get what is called, you get a lesson. And I looked at the word lesson and I see it's less on. You know, someone's giving you a lesson, it's less on something. And when you go to school, they give you the lesson in class and they tell you, well, here's what we want you to do. Go home and you do the homework. You do the studying. That's how you learn. You engage yourself. You study. People have gotten away from that. People have gotten away. Education has declined, as I said before, drastically.
Okay.
So you want to ask me something?
No. So you're saying the numbers don't look good for Biden this year?
Yes, the numbers don't look good for Biden. And here's what is on the horizon. Have we ever had a president who didn't win his second attempt to be reelected? And then to come back.
Oh, come back.
Come back. In other words, did we ever have a president who was president?
It's only happened one other time.
Exactly. And when did that happen?
Back in the 1800s?
Yeah. And what's interesting, it's interesting. So I looked at that because I had to teach when I was teaching my daughter and teaching what's interesting, same way like Prime. What's interesting is it happened with Grover Cleveland.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Grover Cleveland is the first and only president to this time who served what they call two non-consecutive terms. He was the 22nd president, and he was defeated by Benjamin Harris, who was the 23rd president, and then he came back, he became the 24th president. And the thing is, Grover Cleveland was like the first Democratic president in a while. And in fact, okay, so all I can say is look up Grover Cleveland, look up his history and how that whole thing came about. He ran against a guy. Interestingly enough, he ran against a guy named Blaine of Maine. And Blaine was known to be corrupt. Okay? And but the thing is that it was a close election, and someone just said something out of the way that upset a lot of people, and it pulled the votes for Cleveland, because basically the Republicans were just dominating the presidential order. So when we look at Cleveland, is interesting about Cleveland's name. Okay?
Okay, Grover Cleveland.
Right. Now,
Thank you, FU too.
thank you. Now, you got Cleveland, Cleveland, right? If we look at Cleveland, do we know any word that sounds like cleave?
The word cleave. What the word cleave means?
Yes.
I'll open it for the chat. Pardon me. The definition of the word cleave is to cut, right?
Yes. That's one. Yes. Who said that?
No, I said that.
Okay.
People are saying cleaver, clever.
Yeah, like a meat cleaver. You know, that's why I call it a meat cleaver. Right. But you know, you go to the dictionary. You see cleave. That's the way it's spelled. Interesting thing about cleave. It has two meanings. One meaning is that it means to adhere. Adhere means to stick. You know, when something adhere, an adhesive, it sticks. The contrary meaning is to separate. So the word cleave is interesting because it is one of a number of words, a few number of words, that is its own antonym. And you know what an antonym is?
Okay. Well, it's the it's the opposite of another. The word that has the opposite meaning of another word is the antonym.
Exactly.
Synonym,
so cleave, the word cleave is what is called an auto-antonym or a contronym or a contronym. Contro means
you broke up. Say it again.
Cleave is it's one of few words that it has two meanings, and the meanings contradict each other. So it's an auto-antonym, and it's also a contronym, contranym, means it contradicts itself. Like the word splice, that's a contronym. You know, you know the word splice. It means what?
To cut.
To cut. But also, if you had a film that was cut, you put the film back together, that would be called what?
A splice to glue
a splice. You see?
Okay.
How about left? L-E-F-T. He left at 5 o'clock. That means what?
He removed himself from the.
He removed himself, right?
Yeah.
But if I had 6 apples and I ate 5 of them, I have 1 left.
Left. Gotcha. That's a contronym.
Contronym. Okay.
All right.
So what's interesting, I'm just okay. Now, if we look at Cleveland did that very thing. He was the president. Then they had a separation, and he came back.
Okay.
So his name is interesting. Just like the other thing is this. When you look at Cleveland's name, he has a V in his first name and a V in his last name.
Okay.
Right?
Grover Cleveland. Yeah.
Right. The V, the fourth letter in the first name, the fourth position.
Mm-hmm.
And in the second name, where is the V in the second name? What position?
The fourth position.
In the fourth position.
Yeah.
right? So he's got a V in his first and a V in his last name. And both of the V's are in the fourth position.
Mm-hmm.
So that's two V's in the fourth position. He was the 22nd and the 24th president.
Okay.
Now let's look at the letter V and what letter in the alphabet is the letter V?
22nd.
22nd. Okay? And here's the other thing. If we look, that 22nd, he was the 22nd and the 24th president of the United States. What's that got to do with Trump? Well, Trump also has an interesting name. Trump. I'm going to ask you, with Trump, what did he do? When did he win the presidency? The first presidency?
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
When did he become the president?
January 2017.
2017. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Trump, he triumphed. You know the word triumph?
Yeah.
What does triumph mean?
Triumph. The definition of triumph: to win,
To win,
to win over, or to be above.
to be victorious. You triumph. Yeah,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If we take away the H and the I in triumph, what name do we get?
Show me again. Trump. Okay.
Get rid of the H and the I.
Okay.
You get Trump. What two letters did we get rid of? Did we drop in triumph to get Trump?
The second. Well, hold it up again.
The H and the I.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, the I and the H, the third and the last letter.
What letter is H?
H is 8,
What letter is I?
9.
9 and 8.
Okay.
I didn't hear you.
All right. 9. Oh, add 9 plus 8.
Yeah.
17.
17. HI. H for his, I for inauguration.
Okay.
Trump, his inauguration, HI?
2017.
2017. Okay. Now, Biden. Biden cannot become the 47th president
Okay.
because he's the 46th president.
Right.
If
He'll maintain that. Yeah.
if he wins, he'll still be the 46th president.
True.
Okay. Now, when Joe Biden ran for the presidency, he won. Right?
Yes.
His first name begins with J. J happens to be the 10th letter of the alphabet. His last name begins with B. B is the second letter of the alphabet. The 10 and the 2 equals what, Mike?
10 2 is 12.
And if you reverse 12, what you get?
21.
When did Biden become president?
Um, 2020. Or when he became president 2020.
He became president 2020. But when did he officially
21.
become 21?
Yeah.
You see that? Now, this presidency is going to be determined what year?
2024.
2024. Now, if we look at Donald Trump, his initials are D.
J T. Or it's DT.
DT.
Okay.
D is which letter?
4.
And T?
20.
24.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, that should have worked the time he ran before that, but go ahead.
It's like a lot of people say, for example, what's interesting is triumph. But show you something. Who was the president before Trump?
Before Trump? Obama.
Yeah. Obama, right? Show you something interesting. Because a lot of people, this is what here's something I just want to do. Who did I say was the first president to be the Grover Cleveland, right?
Grover Cleveland, yeah.
Okay. Now, Grover Cleveland, Grover. How many letters in his first name?
All right, hang on, let me pull it up. Grover Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I'm just looking for when I typed it. If somebody else wants to type it, I'll put it up faster. But of course, I'll remind people to get merch and get donations.
Okay.
But we're talking about Grover Cleveland.
Yeah.
Grover. That's 6 letters.
And Cleveland?
Cleveland. That's 9 letters. Or 8.
9 and 6.
9 and 6. 17.
Huh?
9 and 6.
Yeah.
Oh, 15.
15. He became the president. Which president did he become? What number? What was his ordinal position?
You 22nd, you said, right?
22nd, right? Do you know what Grover Cleveland's real first name was?
You got me on that one.
Ask the people to look it up.
What's Grover Cleveland's real first name? All right, just waiting for the chat. I'm guessing it's Stephen.
It's Stephen.
You
How many letters in Stephen?
I'm sorry. Hold it up again so I can count.
I know I got you doing a lot of work. Anyway, count Stephen. How many letters?
Stephen. That's 7.
7 and 15, Mike, is how much?
22.
That's when he became the 22nd president. A lot of people say, interesting thing. By adding that Stephen, something happens similar to what happened with the 14th president of the United States. You know who the 14th president of the United States was?
Chat, help me out. I have no clue. We're waiting for the chat to 14th president?
Yeah.
Johnson?
Well, if I say 14th president, what are the initials for 14th president? It's FP.
Oh, Pierce.
Franklin Pierce. Now look at his name, Franklin Pierce. Voyeur, count
Okay.
the number of letters in his first and last name.
All together.
Yeah.
Frankla, and let's 8 and 6. 14. Okay.
And his initials FP. So
Yeah.
anyway, I that's just a little amusement thing. Like I said, the numbers don't look good for Biden. The only thing that can help Biden is if people stop ignoring the facts. The fact that this guy's brought us back from COVID. I know people saying, "Oh, I'm selling the Democrats," but I'm just trying to show you. I don't get on people's talking points. I don't like to say things. I told you a long time that sound good. I like to investigate and make sure that what I am saying is good and sound. Sound meaning it can stand up to the test of scrutiny. Because even the Bible says, even though it's claimed to be the word of God, the Bible, there's a part in the Bible that says you have to scrutinize it. You have to test it. You have to question it. Question what you accept as facts and make judgments that are sound. That's all I have to say. I hope people get a little enjoyment out of that.
I think we certainly did. I want to share with folks. I want you guys to be the first to see this video we shot of Lady Alma. I want to cue that up. But let's entertain the chat for a couple minutes, and then we'll fade out with Lady Alma. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the score is yet, but it's still early in the game, I'm sure. All right, so some people want to know, is it all scripted, or is this just entertainment that you're sharing with us?
Oh, and the name is Woods. The doctor, I appreciate that, but it's just call me Woods. Woods, Charles. Are you insinuating that it's all been scripted? Well, you know, for years, there's a line in Shakespeare, one of his works. The fault there, Brutus, lies not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. People study astrology. We have people study numerology. Dionne Warwick, she was into it. And remember, she had added an extra letter to her name. I ran the 43rd chamber with East Indians, Asians, and they believed in numbers. They said, well, no, don't name your daughter something else or add another letter. People believed in that. So the thing is it scripted? Is our lives fated? Is there nothing we can do to increase the length of our lives? Is it already preordained? Or kismet have anything to do with that? These are mysteries, okay? Mysteries. And the whole thing is, what makes life fascinating is when you examine it. You see, the world that we have today, when you see people fly, you know why we can fly in airplanes? Because someone studied the birds. Do you know why we have growth? You know, the first civilizations started where food could be grown, but people had to know how to grow food. Then you had to know what you could eat. Somebody had to be the testers. When fire was discovered, then there's a way to make this raw meat better. But it's about trial and error, testing. You used last time we spoke, you spoke about the mathematicians and whatnot. And it's interesting. I just gave you some math. It's math. It's numbers math. You know, when you go into prison, people tell you, yeah, I went into prison, and they say you don't have a name anymore. You're a number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And here's what's fascinating about numbers, math, is the precise language. That's considered the precise language. Okay. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 2 is 4. It's demonstrable. You can show it. The reason why young kids have trouble understanding math, because math, when you get more and more into math, it gets to the point where you can no longer see it. It's something that's abstract. And people who can see it from the abstract perspective, these are brilliant people. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing is, what's an interesting word is the word polymath. Let people look up the word polymath. But when I saw that, I said polymath, because I know poly is like it means many, and math. I said that was an interesting word. But the whole thing is, in order to really understand math, you got to be able to de-abstract it, to concretize it, and to get into it. And when you want to learn something, one time I used the word in one of our discussions, I used the word schema.
Mm-hmm.
SCHEMA, schema. And a lot of times when I studied film, I told you I learned the term adult discount. Adults being, because they're supposed to be more learned, they're supposed to have the discount of the adults to be able to discount meaning to differentiate foolishness from something that makes sense, something that's sensible. And so the more and more we get away from appreciating the value of learning, the value of knowledge, the more and more we're going to be allowing ourselves to be taken over by the people who 24/7 are thinking of ways to control us.
Mm.
And the best way to control people, I just thought about this the other day. I said, oh man, listen to this. Isn't it interesting when we talk about cultural imperialism, we talk about colonialism, and we talk about those who have the ideology that some people are above others?
Mm-hmm.
There's a word called oppression.
Okay.
And we know what oppression means, right?
To oppression?
Yes.
Without using the word oppressed, to be held under, to be kept
held
down,
under. Be
to be
held
kept
under.
down.
Yeah. And Fanon said, the thing about even Dr. Ben, he used to talk about this. Dr. Clark, John Henry Clark, he used to talk about this. He said, they took the chains off our legs, on our hands, but we're still shackled up here. And Fanon speaks about the fact that, you can control, you can oppress a people when they have in their mindset that they are worthy of their oppression. And when my thing is the media. The media is used to propagandize the ideology of the establishment, the people who want to maintain the status quo. But isn't it interesting that when you look at words like suppression, repression, depression, oppression, look at that word in there that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Pressure.
PRESS. You maintain it, you acquire it through the press. That's what the gatekeeping is all about. Information. And as I said before, the tricknology of oppression, the tricknology of being large and in charge, is knowing how to control the information. The gatekeeping is allowing the information you want to get out, and filtering and screening the information that you don't want to get out. You don't want any information to get out that's going to raise the consciousness of those you want to oppress. Okay? That's the power of the press. Even Oprah Winfrey stole my thing when I said, yeah, they have the power of the press, the power to oppress us, depress us, suppress us, and repress us. She hurried up and took that down. But this is what it's all about. Information to keep us in formation. Content to make us content with our condition.
Right. Okay. So a lot of people just tuning in. We're winding it down. Thank you, Mr. Woods. So just your stance is basically, you see advantages to voting for Trump, Harris this year, but numerology suggests that it's not in the cards for a Biden win, right? Is that fair to say? That's how we covered it.
Yeah, and in other words, when I look at the numbers, we look at the numbers and the history and whatnot. What's this say? Oh, not Charles is for Biden, but suggest.
Yes, I'm missing a word there.
Yeah, is
numerology suggests that a win for Biden is not in the cards. I got it flipped.
Yeah. And there's only it's still early, but I'm saying, and early it looks bad, but the only thing that's going to help is that people have to become more and more in tune with facts, reality, and comparing, looking at the facts. Get away from this emotional thing, okay? Look at the facts. And this thing is, if we look at the history of one of the candidates, because they keep saying I'm hooraying for Biden, but the thing is, let's examine what one person wants to do, what the other person has done and wants to do. Look up that Project 2025. Why is he asking for immunity? The Heritage Foundation. How come the people with big money, because the whole thing is, here's the other thing that's changed. You need billions of dollars to run for the presidency now. And the people who are going to fund Trump, they don't want Biden. They don't want the Democrats in office, because the whole thing is they want everything that's for them to make more and more money. You look at the guy who owns, I think he gave up his part of his ownership of the Mavericks. You know how much money he's proud? You know how much he paid in taxes?
I saw that headline. Yeah. Was it $30-40 million, something like that?
I think it was $275 million.
My God. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And proud.
He's making it.
Yeah, but we got this scoundrel who's taking money from little people who say they don't have any money, but they got money to buy hats, shirts, sneakers.
Oh, Mavericks hats. No, you need a Reelblack hat.
No, I'm talking about Trump.
Oh, Trump MAGA hats. Gotcha.
MAGA hats, MAGA shirts, sneakers, Bible. Now he's selling a Bible. He's selling a Bible. The whole thing is, and this money, he's supposed to be. He said what he didn't need any money. He's a billionaire. He's a liar. He's a liar.
Okay. All right. Well, do you like music, Charles?
No, I love music.
Do you know Lady Alma?
No, no.
Oh, we've been following Lady Alma since the Black Lily days. And
Alma is the name of my mother's older sister who raised me after my mother died.
Wow. Well, it means soul for folks who don't know. Alma, Lady Soul, and she is a gift for Philly. She after a long hiatus caring for her mother, she's back on the scene, and we just filmed her at World Cafe Live. Got about 4 minutes. Come jam with me. Turn down your sound and let's watch some Lady Alma.
I came to bring it. Yeah. I came to bring the pain, all go to the brain. I said, I came to bring the pain, all go to the brain. I came to bring the pain, all go to the brain. This ain't nothing but a party, y'all. Is it a party? Don't forget to tip the bartenders.
It's house music.
Woo. Hey. Woo. You know what? I want to jack your body. Yeah. Here we go. So you got nowhere to go, and you got nothing to do. Don't turn on your radio, but the music that's inside of you, let it out, don't you feel the sound? Don't you feel it now? House music take control of you, capsule to move, I don't love the groove. Feel it, do it,
It's house music.
It's house music. Go ahead, Priscilla. Ooh,
It's house music.
ooh, I want to move your body. Do it, yeah. Come on, yeah. It's house music, hey, house music all night long.
It's house music.
Pay attention. The beat goes on 4/4. Bass kick leave you wanting more. Hi-hats and snares are everywhere. Yeah, on the one go into the two. House music always makes you move. You can't deny the feeling and the tear. It give you joy and lift you up. You know you never get enough. Turn it up and act cool. Why don't you shake your body and feel it grow? House music gonna make you move. House music gonna make you move. House music gonna make you move. Yeah, 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 yeah. You gonna unbutton your coat. You gonna unbutton your coat. You gonna sting around just a little. You gonna unbutton your coat. Yeah,
Just want to give people a taste. What do you think of Lady Alma there?
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, so you can watch the whole video next week on Reelblack. We're getting the sound mixed. So
You this was a concert she put on. You recently saw it?
yeah, it's a part of our archive. We just filmed the whole show last week.
Beautiful.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, we had a good time. So all right. So any final words, Mr. Woods? Whoops. Took the wrong picture away.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to take this time to go spend some time with my lovely wife. We're gonna watch the Lakers, have a good time. But I just want to say, the Reelblack family, I appreciate all your support. It means a lot. Mike and I, we appreciate you so much. I love you. And hey, I'll be the last one to say I'm right and you're wrong. What keeps me going is I'm a lifelong learner, and I just seek knowledge. It's my enjoyment. It's my diversion. It's what keeps this head going. I love crosswords. I love studying, and history is fascinating. And when we close our minds, we close our lives. And so that's all I'm trying to say. And the unexamined life is not worth living. And so there's so much to appreciate about life. And we enjoy this little time together, and we appreciate people who find the time in their busy schedules to take that time to listen to me go off, but to support the channel. Thank you for that. Peace and blessings.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Charles. I'll talk to you soon. All right. I'll let you go. All right. So winding it down. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, we'll get some more FBA talk in. You know, Charles, we're not going to sway Charles. He really, and I agree as well. You know, we gave 45 Orange Crush a shot, and I know a lot of people. For me, the issue was COVID. He just did not lead well in that period for me. But I understand that we do need to lobby all of our politicians, all the people that we're supposed to vote for, to hold them accountable. And I don't think that Charles says anything different in that case. So listen carefully. I know this is a hot button topic, and we don't want to divide people on the idea of being proud of who we are as Black people, as Americans, and all that stuff. So definitely appreciate the chat and the chiming in. But again, you know, thank you for hanging out. I'll close it with some more Lady Alma. All right, thanks for watching.
Your body, just a feeling in the do it, just to move your body. Ooh, ow, 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 ow. That's right.
It's house music.
I'll jack your body. House music all night long. House music all night long.
It's house music.
Now listen, when I say house music all night long, I'ma need you to say what with my band.
It's house
Is that
music.
all right? Come on, y'all. House music all night long. House music all night long.
It's house music.
House music all night long. Let me drag your body. Get it, do it, got to move it. Can you feel this groove? Feel it, groove. Feel it, do it, baby.
It's house music.
Baby. Got to jack your body, jack your, do it. You got to move your body. You need to move your body. Let me jack your body. Oh,
It's house music. It's house music.
Let me jack your body. I can feel it. Can you do it? Can you feel it? Just to move your body. Move your body. Ooh. Can you feel it? Can you do it? Can you feel it? Just to move your body. Just move your body. Ow. Feel it. Do it. Got to move
It's
it.
house music.
Can you feel this groove? Feel it go, feel it. Do it. You got to move your body. You need to move your body. Let me jack your body. Oh,
It's house music.
I see you, mama. I see you, baby. Feel it? Can you do it? Can you 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 feel it? Hey! Let me jack your body. Feel it.